Hello, everybody. My name is Derek Peterson from New and Dangerous Opinions. So this video I know is going to get a lot of folks angry at me that like Alex Jones, and they're going to call me judgmental and things like that. But the point of this video is basically just to show beyond a shadow of a doubt that Alex Jones is not a Christian. His beliefs are closer to Luciferianism than or some kind of weird New Agey, Freemasonry type of a religion. Okay. Definitely not Christian. Okay. Now, before everybody gets flying off the handle here, right, calling me judgmental and things like that, I'm not saying that Alex Jones is not a Christian because he drinks, because he does drugs, because he cusses, because he acts like a fool a lot of times and says a lot of crazy things, because he's a grifter and dishonest and things like that, right? And I'm not even saying it because of his very public and well-publicized adulteries and things like that, okay? I'm saying it because of what he believes, okay? That's what matters. What you believe about God, about the Bible, determines whether or not you're a Christian, okay? And nowadays, everyone says they're a Christian, right? It's like the cool thing to be for some reason now all of a sudden to be like conservative, you're a Christian, right? Everyone's a Christian. When someone says they're a Christian, you need to dig in a little deeper, right? For their own good, right? A lot of times they'll believe some things that aren't true, and they've never actually become a Christian, right? Because they don't understand what it means to be a Christian, okay? Somebody could say, I'm a Christian, you dig a little deeper, and you say, okay, well, what do you do? How do you worship God, right? Or whatever question, right? I think Jesus is a giant oak tree at the end of the street. I go down and bring him presents every Saturday morning, right? And Wednesday night, right? That's not a Christian, okay? There's lots of these New Agey type folks nowadays that say they're Christians, that believe, there's many ways to go to heaven. If you believe there's many ways to go to heaven, you're not a Christian. There's no need for Jesus if there's many ways to go to heaven. Therefore, you've never been born again. And it's possible that maybe you got saved as a young child and then fell away and, in sin and things like that. And now you just are spouting out something that's false, right? That's possible. It's very unlikely, I think, typically for people to really believe and stay locked in false doctrine, right? Usually real Christians, when they're in sin, they know they're in sin and they're convicted every day about it, right? But it doesn't really mean that they change their belief systems about who God is, right? They still know what's right and what's wrong, as far as the reality of salvation goes. So what does it mean to be a Christian? Being a Christian is very simple. The Bible explains it really well, right? I'm not going to go into this. Isn't going to be some huge theology talk, right? I mean, literally, if I broke down every doctrine in this video, it would take me 50 hours to go through every single false thing Alex Jones says in this thing. It would take me hundreds of hours of research. My brain is not what it used to be. Hopefully one of these younger YouTube pastors will come in and break down everything Alex is saying here and go verse, and just refute it all verse by verse and do a really extended study on all these things. Because it's serious. A lot of people are believing this now. A lot of these YouTube type, e-grifters are teaching a lot of these things, these fake Christians online now, spouting stuff from their houses and their backyards and things, teaching these really ridiculous heretical things that are putting people in hell for all eternity, okay? It's more like prosperity gospel mixed with Luciferianism or something. It's really crazy stuff, okay? So anyway, being a Christian is simple, right? You just got to believe Jesus is God. He came to earth, born of a virgin, died on a cross, as payment for your sins, okay, shed his blood, died on a cross, rose again 3 days later, right? And then that's the work of God to pay the price of salvation. Then it's up to you to say, okay, I want to exchange my sins. I want to be born again. I want to accept this free gift of salvation from God, okay? Nothing else is required. You don't have to give up anything. You don't have to promise to give up anything. It's impossible to give up anything anyway. Right? And giving up things doesn't matter for salvation anyway. As I said, these acts don't matter in terms of salvation, okay? Has nothing to do with that, okay? Has to do with your relationship with God and whether you have humbled yourself and come before him and asked for forgiveness and accepted his payment for sin, okay? It's not saying abracadabra and some magic words and something happens, right? It's a contract. It's a permanent contract that you enter into with God. He's not going to stick you with the fine print of this contract if you don't really understand it. That's why a lot of these people will just say, some repeat after me 1, 2, 3 kind of a Christian will explain the gospel to someone. Just say these words. Okay, now you're saved, right? No, they're not. They didn't really understand the contract. So God's not going to hold them to the fine print, to the details of the contract. When you get saved, you become God's property, right? You're bought with the blood of Christ. You're purchased forever. Okay, it's a contract. You're not rented. You're not leased. You're purchased. The Bible talks about being sealed under the day of redemption. That word sealed means branded. So you're branded physically. You can't remove the brand. It's there forever. That's the point of a brand. Okay, and nothing can change that. You're his property. You're his person. Okay, but your sins are paid for. No matter what you do, no matter what anyone else does, right? In this world, there's nothing that can affect your relationship with God. Nothing can pluck you from his hand. You're saved forever at that point. Okay, but doesn't mean life's going to be great. Quite often it's the exact opposite. If you look in the Bible of people that were born again, nowadays you see these e-grifter Christians talking online, about, be like me, and they're cussing and swearing, and you have a big house and a nice family and nice health and all this other stuff, right? Nothing to do with salvation. Okay, the Bible teaches the exact opposite. You look at all the examples in the Bible of Christians, their lives weren't good by human standards. Okay, prosperity gospel is a lie. If you're believing it's gonna, getting saved for all those reasons, you're barking up the wrong tree. Salvation is about salvation, and that's that. Okay, so anyway, let's stay focused on Alex Jones here. And again, this has nothing to do with Alex Jones's actions in his life, his sins, drinking, drugs, adulteries, cussing, anything else, foolishness, has nothing to do with any of that stuff. This has to do strictly with Alex Jones believes and what he teaches to a lot of people now about what Christianity is, okay, and who God is. And he has a big reach, right? He's reaching millions and millions of people with these false doctrines while professing to be Christian. So hopefully people will start calling him out as being a false prophet, a false Christian, and call him out for his lies. Don't let him off the hook. He's going to twist and he knows that Alex Jones knows the truth. Okay. He's not some guy that just doesn't understand the truth. Alex Jones was married. His first marriage was Tex Mars married him. Tex Mars is a great Christian guy with great doctrine, right? And he's been around a lot of real Christians. He knows exactly what the real gospel is. And he has knowingly and consciously rejected it for a false gospel. Okay. Sad but true. And again, I don't care if anybody gets mad. I really don't care at all, honestly, right? Truth is truth, and this is what it is, okay? So I'm going to play these clips. This first clip of Joe Rogan's a couple minutes long. The second clip was with this YouTuber kid named Logan Paul or Paul Logan. I'm not sure which comes first, but it's about 10 minutes long. Again, I'm not going to try to break them all down, right? Because it would literally take forever when you hear these. It's going to be like rapid fire, like, wrong. It's really frustrating stuff. But anyway, let's play this first clip here.
Things that people can do that you can't do. Let me try to describe it. And they'll use this against me, but notice they don't touch it because it's their whole religion and they can't stand up talking about it. By the time I was like 3 years old, I would have this dream that God has. Because God knows everything, is this super intelligent, omnipresent, unlimited dimensions, but God doesn't know where God came from.
Oh.
So just like we're trying to find out where we came from, God is like a virtual reality simulation as well. And God is constantly running every program, every operation, turning evil loose, good loose, everything. So I would have these dreams. But the earliest memories, like 2, 3 years old, where I would fly out to the edge of infinity. And it was a continual message. Find out where we came from, find out what it is. And it would just be this big, giant, spinning black vortex, like a black hole. And then I would have to go into that, trying to figure out what was going on. And it was the same thing. And so it's this incredible frustration. So then growing up and dealing with things and questioning politics and questioning all these other areas, then having dreams that come true exactly.
All right, that's enough of that. So Alex Jones teaching God doesn't know where he came from. God knows where he came from. God's omniscient. He knows everything. He didn't make us. The Bible's very clear. He made us to have fellowship with us, not to figure out who he was. Okay. He didn't need us to figure out who he was. That is ridiculous. Okay. Obviously, Alex Jones is drunk here, right? But he's telling you what he believes. This is what he really believes. He's just loosening up because he's drunk. And these Luciferians have this weird desire to share their false beliefs to try to get you to, once they get you in as their follower, then they want to try to bring you deeper, right? By explaining the lies to you, right? To get you to submit even further in the darkness, okay? So that's first clip. Now let's play the second one. This one, he's really drunk and wild. So this has a lot of cussing in it. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to let it play through. It's about 10 minutes long. Let's play this through. It's going to be some run up here for the first 2 minutes or 3 minutes or so until it gets into the real crazy doctrines. But just to kind of set the mood for you a little bit.
Fuck! Hey, I give you my word. This is going to be a huge moment. Get ready. That was powerful. $1 million, and I will pay this to the charity of your choice. Oh. If all three of the things I said in that clip cannot be pulled out in mere seconds on Google, they had spider goats that produce spider web in their udders. I learned about it 20-something years ago. It was around 30 years. I had the head of the military base on. They produce body armor. It's classified for whole suits, bullets bounce off of, made out of spider.
I don't care about any of this stuff, by the way. None of this stuff really bothers me. I'm just like, whatever.
All three things, I think it might be the way that all three, hold on. No, it's fantastical. All three things, you play the clip again. All three things
it starts in about 2 minutes to 3 minutes.
Completely been in the news 18 trillion times.
The Chimera, I looked up and I read about the human pigs, the pigs that were given human organs, right? And human sheep. But I read it on a site that was like daily.
No, that's MIT.
It was MIT backed. And
$1 million.
So you can turn to the camera right now and I
make $1 million, dude. Hey, there's the thing. You can make the $1 million right now. All you got to do, $1 million. I'll pay you. Dude, they've got the spider goats all over the world that create body armor. They've got the human animal hybrids. They've got everything. I don't know what you're talking. This is all confirmed, man.
At what point
That's
though?
Fucking crazy.
At what point do we like just kind of give up on caring about what those people are doing because it like drives us mad?
Because they're going to conquer you, bro. Well, they've got whatever these. Let me tell you, the elite are in contact with aliens. They're building a base in San Francisco to take over. That's the best thinking. And we're all sitting there going, oh, smoke weed, party, I get it. Meanwhile, dude, they've got some shit going on. They made deals with people to build some big-ass stuff.
The deal's been made. You've said that before.
The deal's been made. So what do we got to do to just revolt?
I don't know. But let me tell you, they've told the elite they got to kill everybody before these aliens give us life extension. And the establishment's gone Heil Hitler to the establishment. And they have Elon Musk. Everybody was like, Elon Musk said exactly what Alex Jones told Joe Rogan, because he went to a billionaire meeting where they were all deciding this. Type in why the future doesn't need us.
Hey, I got a question.
Why the future doesn't need us. The decision was
What
made.
meeting? You talking about Davos?
All these
It
meetings.
starts at 1:39, I think. Like in 30 seconds or so.
Type in why the future doesn't need us, Bill Joy.
We should get into the
Sun Microsystems owner.
doctrine.
He goes to the meeting 22 years ago. They go, we're going to kill everybody. Wrote an article about it. He told you.
What do you think about this mindset? The podcast ends and I go and I eat my lunch and then tomorrow I do the same thing that I normally do and my life like just goes on and I don't worry about the elite or the humanoids.
But your genetics don't go on forever. Here's the thing.
Your
Are
kids.
Let me explain this to you. You know this. We have a new spirit in each person.
He is a classic, though.
But our body is an earth suit of all our ancestors together. And imagine your grandmother, your grandfather, they knew their father, their mother. It's electrochemical, like electricity. You are completely connected as much as you are to your mother and father to people 1 million years ago. And they are an expression of you in a dream.
Okay, real quick. There were no people 1 million years ago, right? I don't know any Bible-believing Christian that believes there were people 1 million years ago, number one, right? And number two, we'll get into the next one in a second here, but each individual is separate unto God. Salvation is an individual decision. Doesn't matter who your parents are, doesn't matter who your grandparents are. They could all be lost for all eternity. They could be rapists and murderers, right? It's you and your decision with God. The Bible's full of examples of people that had wicked ancestors and wicked parents that were converted. Okay. People that did wicked things in their own lives and then were converted. Okay. This is a false teaching that takes away responsibility from people, and it gives hopelessness to some people that had terrible, family histories.
Dream to the future, time traveling through flesh, which seems like a long time to you in your life, but it's really nothing. You are expressing something like a moth, that like a caterpillar becomes a moth or a butterfly. You are projecting through space-time genetically for this larger plan. And we're about to hit the final next level of the explosion, and there's a interdimensional attack, obviously, on this jump point. So you don't want to just live and enjoy yourself, because then you spiritually die. You only live forever by your progeny carrying on your genetic memories and genetic blueprint towards the future and defeating. So you don't think just God lets us launch on this planet without an attack?
Right. So you're going to live forever, whether you have children, whether you died in your mother's womb through an abortion. You're going to live forever. Once a human life comes into this planet, they live forever. Okay. Children, no children, doesn't matter. You're going to live forever, either in heaven or in hell. Okay. This is craziness. This is Luciferianism. This is stuff. There's a couple of these crazy grifter type e-celebrities online right now that are like, pretending like they're like homesteaders and stuff, and like doing these Bible teaching rants from their backyard and things. And they're teaching the same sort of thing, or believe the same sort of thing. It's craziness, and it's pure Luciferianism. I mean, it's just totally taking away spiritual aspects of humans, right? And personal responsibility. It's very weird stuff.
Attack. What's the next level?
Is it the breakaway? We're under a total attack.
No, I get that. That's a high level of thinking, and I actually can get on board for that. But what is that next level that you're referring to?
You have to try to figure out exactly what's going on. You realize you've got to have a future for humanity, because that's the ark carrying our genetics, and not think about yourself, because you're so greedy for the species and you to continue. Your consciousness is a group consciousness. You're an individual as a cell in a group consciousness in a hybrid collective group. Like a jellyfish is actually a compound creature. So you're an individual, but you must understand the collective for it to continue on, or you die. We're going to live forever, dude, as long as we make it to this next point. It's done. We'll take over universes, galaxies, dimensions. We are it, man. We're the weapon. This is a war.
Wait, so you're saying we have to have kids to carry that on? What if we don't want to have kids?
It's okay if you don't, but I'm telling you, you pass on all your ancestors, all your genetics, and you trigger yourself when you have kids. That then starts a chain reaction.
Like, what if we don't want to be here and we dip, and there's like a much doper place after?
Breakaway civilization.
Well, that's always false realities that are brought into the paradigm. But there's no power without struggle.
Are you religious?
Well, I think it's religious being on this planet, big space.
Are you religious?
I'm very religious.
Christian?
Absolutely pro-human.
What happens when you die?
See, I don't want to keep interrupting this, right? I really want to let it play. But see how he does that? Are you Christian? Absolutely pro-human, right? He can't even say it. He can't even say that he's Christian, right? He knows what he's saying is anti-Christian, and he's in drunken truth-telling session right now. So this is like a Luciferianism coming clean and telling everyone what he really is and what he really believes right now. This is what you're seeing right here is really what Alex Jones believes, obviously. Because again, he knows what real Christianity is. He's been around serious, great Christian men his whole life for 20, 30 years. I know for a fact, personally.
Well, if you've not resonated to God, you just join with all the failure and just turn into like a goblin.
Turn into a goblin.
If you have resonated with
and
God,
forever you're running around with a bunch of like retard goblins.
Do you think that, because I've mentioned to this before,
real quick, this guy Logan Paul here is making this face and looking crazy, not because what Alex Jones just said about being unscriptural. It's because he used the word retard. He got real mad at Alex Jones later for using the word retard, and at the end of the video, right? That's why he's looking like that right now, not because of what he just said. Okay, we're not dealing with a sharp tack here either.
And I hear your point about the retarded goblins, but do you think that there's a chance that every day when you wake up, someone sticks a pineapple in your asshole? Because I've told Logan this many times, because I'm a Christian too.
Oh, he's not a Christian.
I like to believe that when you wake up, and you didn't conform, you didn't become Christian, that when you go to hell, the devil comes up to you every day and he sticks the wide end of a pineapple right up your fucking ass.
Now, here's what happens. If you go to hell,
Hey,
if you go to hell, you lose consciousness in a week. You go to heaven, you go to the next level, the battle space. And
wait, you become like a galactic warrior?
it just goes up, up, up. It's like a big waterfall.
There's no, but you're going up.
When
And
you
A video
as you
game.
graduate to the next level, you're going to wake up in a total war and go, oh my God, I can't believe I just made that level. And God's like, yeah, let's go to the next level. There's a whole universe here, man.
what if it's so one group of people I've talked to, not as much as you probably have, but I want to ask you, people that think that the end is not going to be because of interdimensional space aliens, it's going to be because of artificial intelligence that we've fucking created. And so I talked to a guy over this past summer, that said that companies like Google and other Facebook have invested millions to defend us from our own super intelligence that
That's
we've
true.
created.
No, the elite is super scared of this. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing. They don't like soldiers asking questions. They don't like soldiers to tell stories. The globalists want automated armies that will follow orders. But then the elites are also scared of those automated armies, which they should be.
Turning on them. Because
So absolutely. But here's the thing. Anything silicon can try to mimic the soul, it can't do it. This has been done before. This ain't the only planet. This is all a big test. And so this is like a petri dish testing babies to see if they've got what it takes to go to the next level. So it's like you have a surgery. They give you the shot. You go under. You wake up after surgery. You're like out of boot camp. You're like, whoa. And there's like eyes not seen, ears not
What
heard.
are the requirements to pass that test? Is it
That's a good question. Now would be a good time to share the gospel, Alex.
Definitely. Let me tell you something, folks. You think this planet's fucking crazy? Wait till you see the next level. Because it's crazy.
Have you seen it?
I've definitely seen it.
how
Have you seen that?
Well, let's just say this. You definitely want to get right with God. You definitely want to be a good person. You want to say, I'm pro-human, I'm pro-life. I don't want to screw people over, and I want to be with God. I want God to take me with him. And you'll wake up, and it's like death is not death. You're going to wake up, and the thing is, the big lie is you ain't going to wake up in heaven. You're going to wake up with the whole next level. Well, you think being an advanced intelligence is easy? We're on a planet in space, man, on a galaxy spiral arm orbiting a sun. This is real stuff, brother.
Yeah, but to Mike's point, what if you wake up and you're just a doorknob
Yeah, what if you are a doorknob?
and a goblin?
I don't think
And
the
a
fact.
goblin
I don't think the
tunnel.
fact you walk around the public and we're on a power trip, and half of them are dead-eyed. They're not real. They're NPCs, and they didn't click. Their eggs didn't get fertilized. Man, they're not going to the next level.
How come you haven't been taken out by the global elite?
And is that coming?
Because it's more of a large experiment, and there's not just evil people in the establishment.
There's good people? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's more like playing a game of chess. And so they have to destroy me in the public side before I'm killed. And then if we fail, then I'll be destroyed, which is fine. I'm not worried about that.
Are you afraid of death?
No,
Not at all.
no.
What about for your kids?
You know, as long as their souls are good, I'm happy. I want to live forever. But the point is, you don't live forever unless you make the grade. And if you make the grade as a sentient, conscious being, you go to the next level.
What are the things that just like Logan was saying, what are the things that disqualify you from making the grade, in your opinion?
Being a scumbag?
If you like hurting weak people, and if you lust after power, at this low level, go, these people are so dumb. That's what Christ said. Suffer little children unto me. Be better for you to tie a millstone around your neck than to hurt one of these. If you look at weak people and enjoy being over them, then God doesn't want anything to do with you.
You think we're screwed if for all the times we crop dusted people on an airplane?
Well, the average person that was a crop duster didn't know that was poison.
Shit. I think he means farting. Like when you fart and then you trail it
Yeah.
behind your ass as you walk down the
Like, you know people are going to be
Look,
pissed.
you
off
think,
on that airplane.
here's the thing, you think we're smart and get humor? God's the biggest comedian ever.
I fucking love that.
God is a big comedian.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, God is willing to literally create. Here's the thing, imagine you're God, and you've got unlimited consciousness and understanding of the whole universe. What can you do that's real and new? You can only give birth to new consciousnesses that have free will, who are new little universes. And they're like eggs. And most of the eggs go away in the universe because nature puts out so much. But some of those eggs create new, beautiful things that are in free will. That's like art to God. It's like big paintings and movies. Watching us is what God does and seeing our free will. And what we did because God has a big memory, but God doesn't know where God came from. It's one thing God doesn't know. So God's creating us to try to figure out his
There he goes again with that.
Is God mad at me when I jerk
Her origin?
off, Alex?
No. God gave you that. God gave you all the pleasure. People sell the devil.
Nothing wrong with porn.
As a hot cheerleader. As no, that the devil's starving kids and piles of feces and mites and pain and failure. God's just like victory,
What about
planets and everything, and just everything.
What about if you can engage in premarital coitus?
No, that's all the church saying it's bad. As long as you love somebody,
Isn't that a
then you're
Christian?
going to end up getting married to
It's
them.
like a lot of it's Catholic.
What about
My
other?
take
What about
on
other
it-
religions?
Well, that's it. False Christian religion teaches you you're bad for your bodily functions, which is not Gnostic or esoteric. It just creates this thing to make you feel guilty.
You're
You have a
Gnostic.
soul and a conscience, so you serve the priest class. I'm dirty. I like women. God's not like that. Jesus hung around with prostitutes and money changers and tax collectors. He didn't want to hang around with the priest class that said they were all perfect.
Jesus hung out with the IRS.
He hung out with real people.
How do I get to the next dimension? Like, not dying though. Like, in all honesty, if I want to say I don't want to move there, I just want to fucking visit, dude. Like, I don't know anything.
Here's the truth. You do it every night while you're asleep.
You know who Rene Descartes was?
Yes.
A philosopher. You think we're living in a dream state?
Well, that's Gnostic, and that's only one expression of reality. I would say the Gnostic is like another paradigm of the potentiality of the Godhead in humans. We're not God, but we're made by God. The image of God and the potentiality of God, and God wants us to be gods. So these average Luciferians look at the potentiality and go, I'm a God. I'm Lucifer. I'm a God. No, you've not done what it takes, the decisions, the pain, like Christ. You have to go through the pain and the punishment to then begin to ascend to just a little g before you become God. And then you realize you're already with God in God's consciousness. God created you.
Oh, my
You have to
goodness.
decide, it's God's free will. Do you join God or you join the devil?
So, I don't want to interrupt this, right? This is classic stuff here. But, this is pure Luciferianism. Everyone's going to say, oh, it's Mormonism. Mormonism is basically just Luciferianism, right? It's just Freemasonry, rebranded is all it is, which is Luciferianism, right? That's what Alex Jones believes, okay? He's probably sincere, honestly. He probably sincerely believes this, sincerely believes he's right, and even believes that he might be doing right, okay? But he's deceived, okay? He's evil and arrogant and everything else that goes along with it. I mean, this is craziness. He just said that if we do good, we can become God, right? We become gods.
Because that God is God. God doesn't have slaves. The devil has slaves. God has recruits.
Oof. Damn, that's some deep stuff there, Alex.
What's your IQ?
Real.
What's your IQ, Alex? Do you
Have
know?
you tested it?
Over 70.
No, stop, Alex. Obviously, that's table stakes to be at. This just like having triple digits sex, man.
I don't know about IQ.
Over 70.
Rogan was I tied with Rogan. 120. He was 127. Yeah. And these guys are right.
I think the IQ test is a limited spectrum. I actually agree, like the whole cultural thing, like because there's emotional IQ, there's mathematical IQ, there's literary IQ, there's psychic IQ. I mean, I just think the IQ is a
Yeah, I
limited.
feel like filling out like bubble tests,
Yeah.
like how shapes look.
Anyway, I think they're just going to ramble on here, I think is where it stops about. But you get the idea, okay? And it doesn't take a Bible theologian to understand these false teachings. Anybody that has the least bit of Bible understanding, that has the least bit of understanding of Christianity, is going to see that this is just pure craziness, right? This is Luciferianism. This is not Christianity, okay? Again, it has nothing to do with the fact that Alex Jones drinks and smokes and just told everyone else to drink and smoke and have sex and his adulteries and everything else, right, that he's trying to justify now with these crazy teachings, right? And instead of taking responsibility for them and repenting, has nothing to do with any of that stuff, okay? It has to do with what he believes and what he's teaching now. That's all that determines, what you do with salvation. Salvation has nothing to do with your works, okay? It's that simple. If it did, I wouldn't be saved, right? And you know how many fights I've been in my lifetime? I'm no better than Alex Jones, okay? I've been in a lot of problems. I've had a lot of fights in my lifetime, okay? And a couple years ago, I got in a fight right on a beach. 50-year-old guy, right? And got in a fight on a beach. I mean, I'm not I'm not sitting here trying to, preach like I'm a good, better person than Alex Jones or anything like that. I'm just saying what Alex Jones believes is not what the Bible teaches. Alex Jones is not a Christian. He's a Luciferian. So don't believe him. Don't believe what Alex Jones believes. If you do, you're going to lose. You're going to lose big for all eternity. So again, I'm Derek Peterson from New and Dangerous Opinions. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.